Hello everyone, this is Maffuman coming at you with a StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game starting Starboy and Calais. Calais has 4 laser batteries on his frigate. Starboy went for speed. Went for speed on his... Do you have Starboy? Okay, he has speed. Ghetto SC coming out with a interceptors, 5 of them in fact on his carrier. Soul Shatter coming off with a recharge shield to start off as a Colossus ability. Praetor Alex coming off the EMP, nice and standard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one more person back there. We got a Turbo Narrow, kind of going a little bit off sides. You know, got his Void Ray, got his 1.96 speed. He feels fine. Santa, a little bit out of position. There he is. Now he's back. Now he's got some interceptors at 5. Lucas is taking that damage, doing some damage, and moving on out of there before Starboy and the Colossus can push him off. Soul Shadow comes on in. He doesn't have enough energy for a little bit of recharge shield, whatever he needs it. We got Abathur. Abathur starting off with some Dark Swarm to start off. Well, that's a great ability. It can block damage in an area. Let's see if it gets negated by a EMP. EMP would be actually great. He doesn't have quite enough energy for it. He has exactly half the energy he needs. Abathur coming on in. Abathur does have a, you know, it doesn't have any upgrades on his damage ability, but he can just keep on pushing. He can just use his Dark Storm ability. We got Father of War coming on in perfectly timed, nice and close as a levy, and but he doesn't have any upgrades on his damage either. They are just in the great position to push off, and Praetor actually the shield technique. He's almost out of shields. He's out of shields. Starboy gonna actually be saved by Soul Shadow. Soul Shadow is close enough that he's going to save some damage using that recharge shield out of combat. Zeroma, my Zeroma comes on in. Has the Yamato cannon, haven't seen it just yet. Back to the SC pushing on in as well. Got some interceptors, scaring them off. Great defense of the Starboy by the rest of the team. Praetor Alex, had just enough shields to transfer, and just enough teammates to save him. Father of War is being pushed a little bit back. Soul Shatter is going to try to push, but his ability costs 100 energy, and he ain't got 100 energy, so he's just going to have to stay on back. It's a great ability. Just in the very beginning, you don't really have very much energy to support a 100 energy ability very effectively. Maybe once, twice, and stop a little bit. Abathur pushing on that. Haven't seen the Dark Storm just yet. You might see a Dark Storm just to help them farm up a little bit. Miser Roma going on in a little bit too close to possibly. No, he's not gonna Yamato anybody. EMP, beautiful EMP by Praetor Alex on Lucas. Lucas does not have any abilities, but did do the extra damage that does to shields. If he had any, he does not anymore. Santa using his little elves interceptors to farm as much as he can, and you have to micro them independently of your ship, so you do have to move on back. Make sure you're not killing your momentum. And 1.5 speed. Lucas gotta move on back out of there. He is just on the edge of how much life he has before he starts automatically burning. And 2 frigates can definitely help you along that path. Santa moving on back. Beautiful recharge shield being used. Recharging that 16% of health. Abathur moving up, pushing up, trying to farm. We got Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside, with his 1.61 speed, he has all the shields in the world, but his teammates do not. So even though he's at like full health with no issues, he has to move back because the rest of his teammates are not in the same location of life. It's a team game. It's a lovely team game where you do have to take into account where everybody else is as well. Turbo Nano. Dude, make me do a double take. He has Cloak. Well, he had Cloak until that EMP hit him. Until the EMP hit him, he had Cloak and Blink in the first 6 minutes of the game. Which, you know, hey, that makes him stealthy and speedy. That's great. But you got 225 energy. He has the starting energy of a Void Ray, which means this Cloak, when used, is great, but will be used for like 3 seconds. And lasting for 3 seconds is not good when you're a Void Ray. You got these Sky Furies coming up into combat saying, okay, who can we shoot? Automatically shooting a little bit Praetor Alex, and they're going to be taken out. EMP, beautiful on Abathur. can't launch any Dark Swarms if you ain't got no energy. The two frigates, if we're going to look on the mini-map, Calais and Starboy, I guess they went back to base, and they don't have Blink, so they, like, or not Blink, but Warp, so they're, like, not necessarily coming up to their friends anytime soon. So all this time that the guys were farming up there, the other guys back there were not. Lincoln and Santa. Santa's launching his elves at upgraded to 12. Get OSC still has 6. Vortex! He has Vortex in the first 7 minutes as well. Early upgrades are risky. They can pay off pretty well, but they are a gamble. If you do enough with them and you take somebody out, you take somebody out. But you put yourself in a position where you're really not going to be able to do as much. And swing and a miss, Lucas fusion torpedo that did not hit anybody. Crater Alex using that EMP against Santa, usually a good idea against carriers, and he does do something. And Vortex does hit the frigate as well as the Void Ray, and they're going to just be able to escape from there. Miser Roma does get saved. He is going to get on out of there. Interceptors getting in, they're hitting them, but you see the interceptors at 12 do 36 damage each shot. These guys only do 24, and not only are they doing less right now, they're going to do less damage for a while. They're not going to be as upgraded because he put so much money into cool stuff that saved his buddies, but made him weak. Got a Father of War saying, okay, well, I'm going to go for the opposite ability. I'm just going to have, like, healing, and, like, if I could just get a little time to, like, be left alone, I could be a nice little tank there. Calais not giving him that chance. Calais, back and forth action around these towers, not pushing out too far, just, you know, keeping everybody in that 10 missile range that he has. Launching them backlash rockets, already upgraded 7 times, 209 damage per volley, and with 6 attacks, not that many. You can upgrade how many you do launch, but that was enough to keep the red side sort of at bay, and they're going to, you know, all retreat. Let's see. The blue side's going to move on out, but they are, you know, a little bit too far right now. A little bit of a risky Guardian jump on out of there. Also has Scourge now. If you did get hit when he was warping, he would have stopped warping, but he had just enough space not to do so. Let's look at team composition. We got a carrier on the red side. We got a carrier on the blue side. We got a Colossus on the red side. We got a Colossus on the blue side. We got one frigate over there who Starboy also went for fusion torpedo. Lucas has a fusion torpedo. We got a missile boat right there, Zerona. And I guess, Avatar getting hit. He's the damage guy. He's taking damage. He's out of energy, so most of his abilities right there. Darkstorm and Scourge cannot be used. And the fusion torpedo coming in, and it does. It hits Soul Shatter, but Soul Shatter was close enough. He can also push him as well. We got a Vortex going in right there. Swing and a hit through the Vortex, hitting Santa. Santa moving in, launching his interceptors. Those frigate back here, Lucas can't really get too close to the combat. He doesn't have very much range, and that Turbo Nano is going to be cloaked and be fine, and then be uncloaked and be unfine, and then he's going to hit him. No, he's not. Anyway, Turbo Nano's going to get on out of there. Father of War is like, okay, I'm going to use my ability, use that acid spray offensively, use that rapid regeneration defensively, and the Vortex saved the blue side right there, kind of made them go into defensive, offensive mode. We got the Tempest and the Sky Furies coming on in, serendipitously going in the same direction. Beautiful EMP on Abathur. That was a great way of knocking down his main abilities. He's trying to stay inside his gas, but he really can't because the entire blue side's going in, and he can't save his little buddies for very long. We got a Soul Shatter. He took the brunt of the damage and just had enough beefiness to keep on going. And he's a Colossus. Colossus had shield, that's a shield tank, but the shields can also be hardened and recharged relatively quickly out of combat. So like, he ran out of health and then had health. I mean, if you don't count his health that he can't regenerate the full health. Shields seem to do well. And we got after launching your launch Scourge, these Scourge are going to go in, do 250 damage for each little Scourge, and it does knock him on down. We have Lucas does take out Starboy. Starboy taking out beautiful Father of War, hitting him with a with a little acid spray. He's gonna keep on pushing, keep on pushing, keep on pushing. He's going to get EMP. Can't use any more ability, but will that be enough to take out Zeroma? My Zeroma is going to stay there. Beautiful Fusion Torpedo. Fusion Torpedo does hit, but Soul Shatter takes another one for the team. We don't know if that would have hit Zeroma, and we did not get to see because Soul Shatter came in at the right time to take the damage. Do the thing. Calais launching 15 upgraded missiles at Lucas. Turbo Nero, all the shields are out of there, and he just has to get on back. I think that was, yes, quick reload. Quick reload. Launches, deletes all the 4-second cooldown, so you launch 2 in a row, and when you're doing 165 times 7, that is quite fast, and you got a Turbo Nero going in. He does it, he's trying to use the cloak, and Vortexes himself to save his team's Calais. Moving in, Lucas not having very much health, and will another missile round take him down. He has 500 health. Will that be enough to have him burning down? He can have him healed. There's nobody on the right side who can heal them right now. And Getaway C using Vortex offensive defensively to kill himself, and he does stay alive. Soul Shatter coming on in, using the Thermal Lance, and if you can keep on using Thermal Lance, you can keep on hurting Father of War. Father of War is a shield, is a life tank without very much life. Mr. Brightside using his missiles whenever he can, but there's just so much of Abathur launching Scourge at the at Abathur. Abathur's killed it. Oh no, wait. Calais is killed out. Calais is killed. Calais burns. Abathur killing Calais. He has right there. Calais saying my life for ire with a question mark? I don't know. It might be. It actually worked out pretty well. We have a 4 versus 4 right now. Abathur launching his Scourge, each one of those Scourge having 125 life and doing 250 damage, but being negated right there because of Hardened Shield. Hardened Shield, reducing that to 50 damage from 250. And you are way too close, Abathur. You're way too close. You have to get on out of there. And yes, you are going to get burned down by Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter taking him out. Interceptors at 21. And probably just keep on damaging through the Colossus sitting there, right there. The Colossus shields cannot be quite enough. You got the Interceptors being launched as well, and if the Interceptors do get a lock on the Soul Shatter, they will be able to take them out. They did not have enough time. The Interceptors are not quite close enough. Soul Shatter is burning right now, but he will be saved. Preacher Alex has barely enough shields to do anything like that, but the nuke was not quite enough to take him out. Miser Roma gotta move on out. 1.61 speed, buddy. You gotta get some speed. We got Santa farming up as the best he can. We got Lucas pushing. Lucas has 0 anything else. Uh-oh, buddy. You fell into the money trap. Fool, you went for one of the classic blunders. You went for the Fusion Torpedo, which is great, and we saw it used to great effectiveness. You nuked like the Colossus twice, I think, and everybody else at least once. But yeah, right now you have rates to do farming and like range. Right now, if you look at his lasers, he has 3 shots to kill, and that's not even counting like NOSC's interceptors. That we were just counting like these farm ships. He takes 3 shots to kill one of those. Now what that means is that, you know, they can get close and they can actually not be killed, I guess is the best way of saying it. They're not going to hurt you very much, but they're not going to get killed either. And when killing your interceptors or your little farm ships is the way to get money, and you can't do that as effectively as somebody who has there we go, 2-shot lasers. You are going to find yourself poorer and poorer, curiouser and curiouser, and it can spiral out of control. You gotta put some money into farming. He does a little bit, gets back up to the 2-shot range. It's not great, but it's at least okay. Fusion Torpedo back in action. Missiles better now than they were. He has the 1.82 speed. He's got a little bit of shield to keep himself alive. Now he knows that Soul Shatter can keep on hitting the B button, slapping the D, and getting Hardened Shield up. And Nuke coming in, and this is why you do not stop moving, Mr. Zaroma. because you're gonna get hit by things right there. He has 1.71 speed, but you don't get 1.71 speed immediately. It takes a couple seconds to start the engines, gentlemen. Mr. Brightside coming out of his cage, he's going to hit with antimatter missiles at 108 damage versus shields, and that will do some damage quite quickly, just not very far. He can't upgrade his range. He did upgrade his range on his particle disruptors, his lasers, but that's all you can do. So now he's basically, as soon as you get in range, you're hurting, but like, if you can get out of 8 range, no, you can't. If somebody could get out of 8 range, then they'd be fine. Lucas coming in. There are lots of missiles. We got a Vortex. Vortex does hit the frigate. The frigate is the high damage guy, and we got to get the entire red team back there. Red team has to get on back. Mr. Brightside is trying to deal with some interceptors, and he finally has, but he's also hurt. We got Lucas 1.8.2 speed. He is like pretty fast, but not as fast as he could possibly be in Vortex. Woogie right there. Vortex to hurt him. Vortex to save him. Everybody into the Vortex. It's the Vortex party. We're gonna see what Mr. Brightside can do about this. Now the tables have turned. We got the fusion torpedo was not quite out of cooldown, but Lucas is now in the position he kind of does want to be. He can keep on trying to push it. Oh no! Soul Shatter, you're way too close, but you can do more damage. He's out of energy right now. He has 500 potential energy, but none of it can be used right now. He does not have quite enough. Get OSC's interceptors only at 15, but they will do 42 damage to Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside's going to have to move on back. Has to probably hit that D piece. It's only doing, well, up to 50. That's not quite enough. Lucas also trying to take out. It's going to keep the eye on the Colossus right there while the red side's moving out, because it does not have very much life, and that secret missile could take him out. I don't want to lose the other teammates up there, but oh, it does just barely run out of steam right before he stops. He actually shouldn't have stopped, because he might not have made it otherwise. Lucas pushing on in. Lucas trying to do as much damage as possible. He's almost got a fusion torpedo. One fusion torpedo will take it out. Another person right there, and you know that he's good at it. You know he can launch it and have a pretty decent shot range. I think he hasn't missed once. So maybe if he hit somebody up there, he probably could take them out. But he was also 4 versus 1 right there, so he didn't want to do it. Not without his buddies. Santa launching his buddies is interesting. How many interceptors do you have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Hey, that's cool. 12 interceptors, maximum efficiency that he possibly could get. Has the Vortex. Ghetto, not having enough speed, stopped for a half second to type. Don't type when you're in combat. You can't do both. Pro tip. You can only use your hands for one thing at a time. Here, we got Mr. Brightside. Now he has the missiles. He's kind of been like the missile tank. He saw that he doesn't have like what are they called, teammates. So very much. So he has to be kind of multi-role. He's the tank, but he's tank-ish. He's fast-ish, and he can do some damage with the missiles if he gets on close. He hasn't quite developed as much as like a traditional Colossus, like Soul Shatter here, with his 13 upgrades on his Protoss plasma shields and like lower everything else. Damage, no shields. Shields, little damage. Because that's kind of how a Colossus is generally used. But you know, with less teammates, I mean, he has to be the follow-through guy. Up until recently, these missiles haven't been great, and they're still not, like, amazing. So if there's a nuke that's launched, you want to finish them off. You want to do that, Mr. Brightside. You want to use your thermal lance and your missiles to do so. It makes sense to tweak your role in combat. Look at these interceptors. They started off better than Get OSCs, and they're still better than Get OSCs. Why? Get OSC went for these 2 abilities in the very beginning of the game. It's not just when you... it's not just what abilities you have, it's when you get them. Let's see. Santa went for like, he had like 12 interceptors in the beginning, while Get OSC didn't. He only had 6. So he had that advantage that he could just build up from there. His interceptors are better at farming, better at doing damage, better at attacking capital ships and everybody else. And yeah, Get OSC got lucky with some vortexes, but Santa got the Vortex at a later date and also got lucky. And his interceptors are staying better. So, EMP, nice job there, buddy. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, he's got the 10 upgrades as, is kind of a pro move. Apparently with, all Terran ships, pretty much all ships who have shields, going for the 10, once you can build it up to there, you will continuously recharge your shields no matter what. Santa is within vortexing distance, but not in vortexing energy capacity. So Lucas coming in. Now he very easily could be set up for a vortex torpedo. He also has pretty good shots with his regular torpedo-ishness. And he's getting super close. They're trying to scare his right side. Vortex on one Colossus. Ooh, Soul Shatter just turns in a little bit of nick of time to not the combat-friendly fire right there. Lucas using the Vortex as a protection right there. Santa getting dangerously cheesy right there. And Vortex is everybody. Santa Vortex is the entirety of the blue side, except for this Praetor Alex right there, who is busy with Santa's Interceptors. Santa's Interceptors are doing monstrous amounts of damage to Praetor Alex. Praetor Alex is being predated on pretty well by them, because all he has is right there that nuke torpedo, that torpedo nuke. Perfect. Does hit him. Soul Shatter. Barely running on fumes with his shields. Just relying on that recharge shield, and that means Lucas is going to move on out of there. Come on, do the Lucas motion with me. He's going to keep on hitting. Get OSC. You can't stop moving. You got to move your 1.71 speed, and is that going to be enough interceptors on Lucas? And Jeroma staying a little bit by. His interceptors are doing bink. Those lasers are doing almost nothing against the interceptors right there. And is there going to be enough follow through, or is Lucas going to fall into the trap of the interceptors? I think he's going to be cautious and move on back, and he is. He's going to use his afterburners to give out that extra speed. Interceptors always move at 2.5 speed. And he can't match that, but he can get a little bit closer. And interceptors never can get further than 2 range. So even though they're faster, if you can get any distance between you and them, that is what you need. And that was a great way of saving your buddies. Yeah, the interceptor, the lasers from my Zaroma over here ain't doing much. Like they do 14. And Santa, there you go. He has 14 armor and 14 plasma shields. So like I think it just gives you 1. I don't think it allows you to do 0 damage, but if it did, you're pretty much doing that. You're effectively doing nothing, because interceptors have a baller amount of life once you've upgraded them that much. And again, they're better than Ghettos. 21 interceptors, nice. Well, he's had 28 for a while. And he has 28 while on the retreat, so he has 1,000 money to put into them. Soul Shatter. He's relying on his Thermal Lance. 125 damage. It's less. Doesn't quite kill interceptors. Does not kill interceptors, but it's at least doing something. You got a little bit of a Colossus on Colossus action right there. And Vortex, ooh, barely moved out of the way. Does hit the Colossus and then scoops on out of there. With just enough to not hit the ice skating physics in this game. You gotta click like right behind you, like immediately or right behind you, to avoid being locked into the vortex. And Blackout does hit Mr. Brightside. Mr. Brightside is out of shields. He has about 7,000 life. They're already gonna keep on pushing out. They may or may not. Soul Shatter gonna push on up. He doesn't have very much life, and he's gonna do more damage, but he's also invulnerable. Invulnerability shield does hit him, but then he gets Vortex. Vortex, even though it doesn't do any damage, it does it still puts you in the Vortex. And Mr. Brightside with about 2,000 life does barely do it. And if there was any more Soul Shatter, let's see if you can get on out of there. You are using Hardened Shield, but it takes so long to remove a Colossus. It's like pushing molasses. And these Lucas, he was like, this is the perfect opportunity for Backlash Rockets. And if I had enough energy, that's where I would want to twerp. But he can't quite twerp. Zaroma, stop stopping your ship. Keep unstopped. Because the torpedo is EMP'd, but it is a possibility. Santa. Running on in, launches the interceptors. These interceptors, if they keep on attacking Predator Alex is doing the best he possibly can against interceptors. He has EMP to drain their energy, and he is using his burst lasers, but they're not. I mean, they're only doing 34. And these damn interceptors can keep on doing. And they are enough. Saved by the Ghetto's SCs. They're not quite as good, but they're like okay. Still. Ravens, I don't like to use the like hard counter word, but they are really susceptible to interceptors. You can EMP them, and you can use your range, but like you don't have very much armor. So once it gets down to it, these interceptors can just wreck them if unprotected, and that's why you stay protected, buddy. You stay with your buddies. Zeroma, gotta upgrade his range. Can't rely on missile pods. They're decent. They're not, you know, not the best. And pretty even farming wise. I mean, honestly, with an extra person, they're only like 400 above. Not that much. Not that much. Calais, watching the action from beyond. Blue side was able to quickly get in there, quickly, you know, heal up and farm. Let's see. Talking about the different ships, there are different ships eventually. We started off with I think just like a few of them. Battlecruiser, carrier. Oh man, now my sound. Battlecruiser, carrier, frigate, and levy. Yes. No, not levy. And something. Maybe guardian. No, it isn't. No, it wasn't. Let's see. Then we got interceptors. See, the red side retreated in time. They're you know, playing cautious. They have the like one less person, but they're, you know, being twice as smart. So it works out. Lucas, ooh, what do you have? Ooh, Rip Wave Warheads. Good way of doing damage in an area. Range 100, holding on energy, but you know, if they're ever in an area, which they do like to clump up, then that will just do it, especially if they're going to be doing that. Invulnerability shield, really just helping them punish that tower. Will they kill it? Probably not. Will they take any damage while there? Nope. Not for another couple seconds. And Vortex, swing and a miss Vortex. Swing and a miss Vortex. It does keep the blue side away from the tower enough to save them, but yeah, no, missed it. Missed bright side, moving on up. Lucas and Zeroma. My Zeroma out of position. We're going to see Lucas try to push up. He has the afterburner, so there's very little way that my Zeroma is going to be able to be there, and he knows that. He sees Mr. Brightside. He's going to launch some desperation things. He's going to launch a Yamato cannon, and he is going to get on out of there. 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3. We got carrier. What's it called? Colossus, and the difference is we got a frigate versus a Raven right there. We got a Mr. You know, Soul Shatter in the vortex right there, and the entire red side's going to try to move on up. There's almost quite enough energy for Fusion Torpedo. Now he does. Will he turn and will he launch it? He might. He's going to try to stay within the range. He has it. And will that be enough? He's getting way too close. He does hit him, but now he's Soul Shatter is going to keep on trying to push up. He's going to use his hardened shield's ability to just keep on pushing him. Another couple of thermal lances would have taken him out, but he does not have the follow through. Interceptors are not quite there. We got Lucas turning around with like very little life, playing a little bit dangerously. He knows he has to like keep on trying to push him. If he can take out another ship, he can't quite do it with interceptors on him. He sees those interceptors. He does move on out of there. PDD blocking what they can. And the Colossus does indeed seem like a real pain in the knees to kill. When they have energy. Let's see. We got beautiful defensive matrix. Defensive matrix being used to just invalidate some damage in an area. And Mr. Brightside, look at those. I think those antimatter missiles. Okay, so he's used them because he wants to get close and finish them off, but he's upgraded them 12 times, and they do 95 standard damage, 114 versus shields, attacking 6 times in a range. Lucas, is, also has only 9 upgrades on his backlash rockets. They do 123 damage, and he can shoot them 9 times. Because on a frigate, you can upgrade the range of how fast they are, or how far they are shooting, as well as how many of them you're shooting when you shoot them. So he's shooting 9 times. He was only shooting 6 times, and it only has 8 range. So naturally, frigates are more missile boat-y, but the Colossus didn't want to just forget missiles exist, which is possible. They're not entirely typecast, but there are some built-in advantages to the class of ship that you choose. Beautiful EMP. EMP is a great way of reducing interceptor life. He did get it recharged by Plasma Surge, but you kind of got to if you get the EMP. EMP on Mr. Brightside as well. Pretty much the incredible principle maintains here. If everybody's a target, nobody's a target, you pretty much got to EMP everybody, just to maintain that damage on them. Because they're all getting a little bit crazy when they have too much energy on their hands. And Lucas doing the right things, keeping that 11 range. You are a heavy damage person, but if you do get within that 8 range, these missiles will start to shred you. Because although you upgrade your shield, you're still pretty susceptible. Still pretty friendly once you put them out there. And Mr. Brightside is taking a bunch of damage. Soul Shatter hit the button. Oh, to be invincible, it was taken out by a Vortex. Santa saved the day. Mr. Brightside is going to try to heal up as much as possible. The invulnerable Colossus, the only thing that can take him off the map is Vortex, and that was used. And is that going to be enough? The Fusion Torpedo does hit both of them, and they're going to keep on trying to push Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter is going to try to get on out of there. Vortex, back and forth action to take out the frigate right there. Santa launching his interceptors, but his interceptors can only do so much, and they're going to try to take on Ghetto SC. Ghetto SC being healed by Praetor Alex, as well as being defensive matrixed by Praetor Alex. And gonna get on out of there in time. Back and forth Vortexes here. And that Colossus, once he runs out of shields, he's a goner. I mean, let's look at the difference right there. 14 upgrades on his shields, okay. 21.5 armor, not bad. But then once you get out of that, you have 7,000 life of 9 health, 9 armor. And Lucas, what are you doing? You were just talking about how smart you were a couple seconds ago when you were staying away, but you are going to push them all out. You're going to scare them all out. He is staying above the shield life right there. So he was pushing, he was being risky, and then he pulled out in time. So really good timing on that one. Using the afterburners to kind of stay within range. And he's just going to keep on trying to hurt. He's going to keep on moonwalking away from these interceptors, as well as the scouts. Oh, the poor little scouts that nobody loves. But I do. We got one lonely Sky Fury trying to join his buddy, but his buddy's dead. And he's going to try to maybe shoot off once or twice. But the red side's staying pretty far out of the Goldilocks zone, because they really don't want to be susceptible to they know the Vortex is on the field. And when you know the Vortex is there, you gotta back on up. You gotta back it up very much quickly, because Vortex will take you out of play and make you stop and make the entire team come around you. And Praetor Alex is gonna be aggressive, aggressive with those seeker missiles, and he's gonna use a Vortex from the ghetto. Does take a perfect shot on the carrier right there, causing the red side to come around to their buddy. 3 versus 3 action. 1 Vortex is being used. Interceptors are in the text. And Santa right there, trying to use that, and he does. Vortex just enough to not hit himself, but the interceptors are on him, and will that be enough to probably just try to push him, especially with the Seeker Missile. Gonna kind of chase him out. He has 1.71 speed. The Seeker Missile is gonna hit, but the interceptors are not. Interceptors are scared away. We got Ghetto SC, 33 inch. Still not as good as 42. Again, timing of the upgrades and how lucky you can get. Mr. Brightside at full health, but again, my team. Your team is hurt, so you're hurt. My pain is your pain. We got Lucas with, you know, pretty much full energy right now. Just doing what he can. Has, you know, enough laser batteries to like do this. And he's going to try to stay around the battle station right here. And Soul Shatter is just trying to stay there. Stay well within the 8 range, but he's not going to commit to it too much. He does have your vulnerability shield, which you could use if needed. And they're just trying to do as much damage as possible for the tower. But now Soul Shatter is right there. Soul Shatter does get into the whole damage of Santa. Just so much shields. So much shield damage, and we upgraded to be 21, and there's a torpedo, and it does still hit Lucas. You know, perfect shots on these torpedoes so far. But Soul Shatter is hurt right now. He's shield tank without my shield, and using invulnerability shield. Invulnerability shield is the only thing that's keeping him from being damaged right now. And there's a vortex on the Colossus right there. Lucas escaped the Colossus, escaped the vortex. Will it be enough to take out the Colossus? And that may or may not be. He's gonna keep on pushing. We got these 15 upgraded backlash rockets, and that is quite enough. Soul Shatter using vulnerability shield. Used recharge shield while he was invulnerable to recharge some shields, and then hopefully maybe even again. The cooldown is very quick, 16% of your overall health, which is upgraded 14 times. And we're gonna just let Lucas just farm up a bit. You know, he's in the right positioning. But the blue side was not killed, and they aren't hurt enough that they're going to stay in base for very long. You're pretty much always going to go to base. You're always going to have some amount of time that you're able to farm. Sometimes even in the good zone, like these interceptors are. But you can't stay there forever, and the blue side wasn't hurt enough as a team to have to be there for a while. So all of their energy is back. All of their Colossi are back on the field. We got Sky Furies, just kind of like that scene in Saving Private Ryan. They're just shooting their little cute little railguns at the tank right there, and it ain't doing nothing. But the red side is still retreating with plenty of time left. Again, these Colossi. Oh, that's cute. He upgraded his range. But his range is only good against interceptors, and I guess technically outranging your buddies. He's getting just enough damage in there to kind of keep on attacking, and Soul Shatter does scare them off. The Vortex doesn't hit anybody, but it does block them from going up that way. A Vortex over there as well. Double Vortex. Oh, I guess the Colossus felt bad for the Vortex not hitting anything, so he just decided to fly into it himself. Interceptors, though, the pathing goes directly into the vortex. You could move it around, but GetOSC did not. These secret missiles are going to go right through all that stuff. Swing and a hit, but it was an invulnerability hit. He was invulnerable while he was being hit, and the Lucas took the entire damage from his own attack right there, and the tower is taken out. We got Mr. Brightside pushing on up as well, trying to just do as much damage. He has 10 upgrades on his shield, not quite as much as 14, but not very far away. Interceptors still doing like okay damages. You know, can't really forget about them. But you know, you can just kind of like back on up, staying within the battle station range. 100 damage will slowly take them out. We got PvP being used to the best of its ability, but it ain't doing all too much right now. We got Lucas having to go on back. He has had, you know, I think 6 for 6 right there, torps. We got Mr. Brightside going in. He is almost out of energy, and he is out of shields, so he's going to have to retreat. Interceptors, desperate attempt to take out Praetor Alex. We're going to keep an eye on Praetor Alex. GetOSC launching the interceptors to try to save the Raven right there. I don't know how much the PvP is helping right now. In fact, it's not shooting. PvP is not blocking any of the interceptor shots at all. So PvP is not effective at that moment. It is now that it's blocking the missiles as well as the Phoenix shots. But We got Lucas going on up. He has a... if he gets too close, he can get hit by Soul Shatter, but if he gets close enough, he can scare them away. So he's either safe until he's boned. So he's either safe when he's, you know, at that 11 range, doing damage. Once you get into 8, which is, you know, 3 less, he is not, and will that be enough? Ooh, launches the missiles, but not quite enough time to get on out of there. EMP, nice shot on Lucas right there. 475 is a bunch of energy. It did cost a bunch to get up there. It is all drained at the moment. We got Santa trying to use his interceptors. Now his interceptors do a great amount of damage to things that are like poorly lasered, and that's pretty much everything. The best defense against the dark arts right here is thermal lance, and that's only 125 damage. And these interceptors, that's not that much. They are just doing a bunch of damage right there. He's using that his recharge shield and hardened shield as much as he can. Get OSC coming out in 38. Not you know, it's still respectable, but you know, not as much. We got the blue side coming on up. I think they tried to do the same thing that they were just doing against the towers. And red side knows that. Red side knows that, so they're getting back into position. They're not going to start the attack at half life. They know the attack's coming. So they're going to get well behind this 10 range right here. You actually really can't do much about that. None of them really can like outrange it. And Vortex did hit the Colossus. Nuke did hit the Ghetto SC carrier up there. And they scare them away. They're going to kind of keep on trying to push them. And the Colossus is back there. Colossus is back there, well within the range of the battle station. And oh, perfect use of invulnerability shield to be invulnerable and not taking damage. While he's definitely in the range of taking damage. Mr. Brightside, ooh, a swinging of his Vortex from Ghetto SC. We all saw that. We all saw it. And Lucas kind of behind the team, but trying to stay relevant, trying to shoot his missiles the best he can. They're really good for farming, harassing, and that's where he's not trying to commit to too much. He's trying to stay a little parallel, let the other people do some damage, and let him just stay there to follow up. He has the afterburner to stay well within range whenever he needs to. The temp is coming in, and they shoot him a little bit more. He's going to use his backlash rockets to drain his energy. He can't stay up with the Soul Shatter because he doesn't have the afterburners until just then. We got Predator Alex. He had nothing but the black eye in a little bit of time. He's going to launch another secret missile. 36 seconds. He upgraded quite a bunch of damage and time. Let's scare him away. 36 seconds. I don't even know if he can retreat from it, and he's not going to. Boom, ow. Not quite in the life yet, but Omen's out of shields. We got beautiful EMP. EMP for Predator Alex, and Predator Alex is again using blackout. Perfect blackout on all of the interceptors. He can't do very much damage versus them. Look, 50, 5-0 upgrades, 25 armor. He's just like doing the best he can. And blackout was the way to be. Using your ultimate ability was not wasted because those interceptors are monstrous. They can just keep on doing damage. They are perfect farming vessels, but you put so much money. We're talking like 25, 30, 35, 40, all the way up to 50 money up there. There's should probably get a chart of how much money that is, but that's just like, imagine the biggest number that you know and like double it, and that's about half of what he spent right there. And then that's just, that's another torpedo. Another torpedo is going to hit Ghetto SC. That was a blind shot by Lucas, and it did hit him. Ghetto SC had enough shield to stay, shielded, but Lucas is going to move on in. He is using his Rift Wave warheads to just avoid that right there. These interceptors coming on in. Soul Shatter going on out. Have to use his hardened shields to reduce the damage 250 from the interceptors and everybody else. Lucas, he has a quick reload. If he does get in right there, he can use it as well. He's going to keep on trying to push as best as he can, using the energy. And Soul Shatter is out. He has 75 potential energy. He's an energy monster because he can't be trained right now. Lucas, you gotta move on out of there. Lucas, overcommitted to the attack, and this secret missile is gonna hurt him quite a bunch. And Lucas was taken out by Soul Shatter. Soul Shatter pushing on up. He's also gonna, he possibly can use his invulnerability shield if he really needs to. We got Santa going in. He has not decided, no, there's the invulnerability shield, but the invulnerability shield is being used. Burning up on Santa, Really gives him enough energy. He has like not enough energy for thermal lance anymore. And one more would possibly do it. And Santa, perfect vortex. Oh, but it does hit both the Colossi. One from his side, one from the other side. Santa doesn't care. Santa's going back to the North Pole to heal up and get some cookies and get a receipt. And Praetor Alex is going to circle around circle the wagons right here to protect, to try to take out Mr. Brightside. And Mr. Brightside's going to get a secret missile. And Soul Shatter is out of energy, so he's not going to do very much. Ghetto-SC is going to use his intercept as much as he possibly can. And Mr. Brightside's going to keep on trying to push on back, and he is taken out by Soul Shatter or Vortex as well, hitting the other carrier. But the other carrier's interceptors are already, Santas are already on Ghetto being shielded with defensive matrix as well as regular shield, and Praetor Alex will be still in danger. The guy who's in the vortex was also about to get a kill of Ghetto SC, was not as protected by his buddies, by all three of them, or three including himself, because self-love is important, as he was. The carrier could have gotten a very sneaky kill on the carrier because of the carrier's interceptors. We got beautiful warts, beautiful blackout from Praetor Alex. Does just stick the nail in the coffin for this valiant effort by the carrier there. Santa not going down without a fight, showing the true meaning of Xmas by not getting up. And that's going to be your game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Press like, press subscribe. We're doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time. Send your replays to MaffumanCasting to become part of the action. MaffumanCasting@gmail.com.